Hey YouTube, Steve Summers here, and we're back in the shop. Here's the compound that I've been talking about for the shaper. I've gotten pretty good results, at least satisfactory to me, on my surfaces on the actual sliding part of the compound. And started when I started scraping, I scraped the two flats and then worked to the dovetails, measured and made sure to keep them parallel. And it was quite a job. In the beginning, while scraping the flats, I ended up canting one of the surfaces slightly compared to the other, and it was due to not cleaning out the recess in the dovetail well enough. What I used for that is a big power hacksaw blade. I own a power hacksaw, so I used it, cleaned out the surface, and it done really well. You have to have room for your scraper to get back into the groove. Come here, Etsy. Come on. My dog showed up. She's a vicious attack dog. She's huge. Hey, girl. Come here. You want to be on camera? Oh. Here she is. She's vicious. And I would suggest you stand clear of her, because she's bad news. Bad news. Yeah, go play. Anyway, cleaned out the surfaces, or the recesses, to where I could get in there good, and ended up scraping that surface back into parallel, or back into flat, but I had to scrape it down in a little more, so I had to work on both sides to get them both on the same, plane. And cleaning out your surfaces, making sure you got more than enough room to get those surfaces flat is pretty important. So a couple more of the tools that I use that I would suggest anybody scraping, use is not compressed air. Who wants to blow the chips everywhere? You don't know where they go. They're going to end up on your surface plate. They're going to end up in your print, and that's not good. So you use a brush. This was also another thing that I'd read and heard from Richard King, is that a good brush, and it allows you to get up in the areas. You can control pretty much where the chips go, and that's important. I have several stones, but I didn't have any stones that I could get up in the dovetail real good, and get all the way back in there to remove the burrs that you raise when you scrape. So I went to my diamond wheel on my bench grinder, and dressed my stone to where I could get back in there, and that works just fine. To glue my surfaces, up in my dovetails, to get up in there, I just got a little block of wood with a piece of fabric, tacked to it, and I usually try to put the glue on as light as I can. I think that'll give you a better, well, in the beginning you want to print heavy, but towards the end, you want as little glue as you can get to transfer. I think that gives the most, accurate depiction of your surfaces. Here's the carrier. This is what I'm working on at the moment. Just the flats, not the actual dovetails. I'm using an old dog drive plate to hold it, and it seems to work really well. So I'm going to try to get a print on this thing and show you where I'm at. Printing this thing is a little tough because you can get a false reading if you bump it around too much. You want to hold it up off the surface and slide it in, trying not to touch it. And this is actually uneven weighted. It's a lot heavier on this end than it is here, so you have to really be careful on how you hold it and how you get your print, or else you're going to end up with a bowed surface. I'm not really putting any downward pressure on this, just enough to keep it flat and give me what I believe is an accurate print. So just move it back and forth, about 2 inches, 3 or 4 times, and I think that's sufficient. Lift it up off the surface and pull it back, trying not to, contaminate what I just printed. And you know, it's starting to come in. You know, got a little more blue on one side than the other, but I don't know if you'll be able to. That'll come out on camera, but you know, getting down pretty good. I mean, the ink's really light on this side, but you know, it's speckled pretty much everywhere. So after these two surfaces are done, and you know, using this as a masker, then I'll start working on the what's called the I guess it's called the actual guiding dovetail, not the tapered gib side. And you know, after I do that, then I'll start working on the gib. Hopefully, there's enough life left in this gib to where it will work enough to where I can make a new gib on the shaper with this machine. I don't want to, you know, even if this gib works, it's going to be pretty much to the extent of its adjustment, and I don't want to, you know, a year later have to come back and make a new gib. So I'm probably going to, you know, go ahead and do that, and I'll do it with this machine, and hopefully try to document that and take everybody along for the ride. It may be interesting. I've never built one before. I know that usually there's a, you know, certain, you know, taper per foot and a gib and whatnot, but you know, it's a fairly complex little shape, so we'll see how it comes out. Like I said, I've never made one before, so we'll give it a shot. And I'll try to keep everybody up to date on, you know, what's going on. Maybe, you know, give them a little more internal view of the shaper and show my lathe in a future video. But I think for now, that's it. And I will, you know, post some more videos and keep everybody, you know, up to date on where I'm at and what I'm doing. And I'd appreciate it if everybody would like and subscribe. You know, that'll help me to know that at least people are interested enough for me to, you know, keep on making videos. So thanks, everybody.